In the 1960s, a rancher on horseback, herding cattle under a wide sky. Fast forward to today, and that same pasture hums with technology. America raises over 90 million cattle annually, a feat made possible by science. How does a 70-year-old rancher manage thousands of cattle with just a tablet? Meet Hank Thompson, a fourth-generation rancher from Salina, Kansas. At 68, he once relied on instinct to check his herd. Now he uses drones to monitor pastures and smart sensors to track each cow's health. "I thought technology was for kids," Hank chuckles, "but it saved me $500 0 cents per cow a year." This transformation isn't just about gadgets. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, enforces strict standards under the Animal Welfare Act, ensuring humane treatment. Policies like the 2018 Farm Bill fund research into sustainable practices, helping ranchers reduce methane emissions. Want to support sustainable ranching? Look for grass-fed labels at your grocery store. They often come from tech-savvy farms. What's your favorite beef dish, and have you noticed these labels? Share below. Ranching isn't easy. Harsh winters, rising land costs, and market pressures test even the toughest. Hank recalls a brutal 2019 blizzard that nearly wiped out his herd. "I thought we'd lose everything," he says. Enter technology. Smart barns with automated heating kept his cattle safe. Drones now spot stray cows in minutes, a task that once took hours on horseback. Data analytics optimize feed, cutting costs by 20% and boosting beef yield by 15%. "It's like having a scientist in my pocket," Hank says. But technology alone isn't enough. Political and legal hurdles loom large. The Clean Air Act regulates methane emissions, pushing ranchers to adopt eco-friendly diets for cattle. In 2023, the EPA tightened rules, requiring larger ranches to report emissions. Non-compliance can mean hefty fines, so Hank uses software to track his herd's environmental impact. Trade policies also sting. Tariffs from China in 2020 slashed beef exports, forcing ranchers to lean on domestic markets. Yet the USDA's Conservation Reserve Program offers subsidies for sustainable land use, easing the burden. Hank's story mirrors thousands of ranchers. At a county fair, he shares tips with neighbors like adjusting feed to cut methane. If you're grilling beef, try a marinade with rosemary. It enhances flavor and supports digestion, much like cattle feed additives. Have you ever visited a ranch? What surprised you? Comment below to swap stories. These innovations keep America's $150 billion zero-cents cattle industry thriving. But the fight to balance profit, planet, and tradition continues. Hank stands with his grandson, watching the sunset over his pasture. This land is our legacy, he says. Technology didn't just save his ranch, it ensured his family's future. By using smart sensors, he catches sick cows early, reducing losses. Data-driven breeding predicts calving, preserving his herd. I'm not just raising cattle, Hank reflects. I'm keeping a promise to my father. His pride echoes at local fairs, where ranchers swap stories of resilience. The future looks bright. The 2023 Farm Bill invests $1 billion zero-cents in precision agriculture, supporting tools like Hank's. Legal frameworks like the Federal Meat Inspection Act ensure beef safety, building consumer trust. Sustainable practices, recycled water, rotational grazing cut methane by 10%, aligning with global climate goals. America's cattle industry isn't just surviving, it's leading. Hank's journey shows how science honors tradition. I thought I'd retire, he laughs, but I'm too excited about what's next. Next time you buy beef, ask your butcher about its source. You might spark a chat about modern ranching. What ranching memories do you hold dear? Share them below, and let's keep America's cattle story alive. Subscribe for more tales of innovation and join us to explore how farmers protect our land. But how did cattle farming develop, and why are beef and hides valued around the world? Today, countries like Brazil, India, and the United States dominate beef and hide production. providing millions of tons of meat and more than 1.4 billion square meters of hides each year. Across the U.S., over 700,000 cattle farms supply the nation's 12 million tons of beef annually, with states like Texas, Nebraska, and Kansas leading production. Farmers meticulously monitor cattle weight, adjust feed ratios, and conduct health checks to optimize growth. They provide a balanced diet of corn, soybean meal, and forage, ensuring each steer gains about 3.5 pounds per day until reaching 1,200 to 1,400 pounds, the ideal weight for transport to a processing factory. Regular vet inspections, water quality control, and precise feeding schedules help maximize meat marbling and cowhide durability, ensuring that both beef and leather meet top industry standards. Once cattle reach the ideal weight of 1,200 to 1,400 pounds, farmers coordinate closely with processing factory employees to ensure safe and efficient transport. But how do they move thousands of cattle each day without causing stress? Using specialized livestock trailers, each holding 28 to 30 steers, farmers schedule shipments based on weather conditions and travel distance to minimize heat stress and weight loss. Compared to poorly managed transport, which can cause up to 3% weight reduction, careful planning ensures cattle arrive healthy and calm at the processing factory, preserving meat quality and hiding integrity. This seamless partnership between farmers and the processing factory keeps the beef industry running efficiently while maintaining high standards. At the processing factory, cattle undergo a mandatory 24 to 48-hour rest period in temperature-controlled holding pens, reducing stress-related lactic acid buildup, which can lower meat quality by up to 30%. According to Dr. Temple Grandin, a leading livestock handling expert, properly stunning using mechanical captive bolts, electrical currents, or CO2 gas ensures a 99% effective, humane process. Skilled workers then use hydraulic hide pullers, preventing tears that could reduce leather value by 20%. Finally, USDA-certified inspectors assess beef quality, grading it from prime to standard based on marbling, texture, and color, ensuring only top-tier beef and leather reach the market. Have you ever wondered why cowhide dominates 65% of the global leather market, unlike the hides of other livestock? At the processing factory, cowhide undergoes a meticulous treatment process to ensure it meets the demands of industries ranging from luxury fashion to automotive interiors. But how does this process work, and why is cowhide so valuable? Unlike pigskin or sheepskin, which are softer and more porous, cowhide is prized for its durability and thickness, making it ideal for high-end leather products. The journey begins when skilled workers carefully remove hides using hydraulic hide pullers, preventing damage that could lower quality. The hides are then salted, dried, and chemically treated to prevent decomposition before moving to the tanning stage. This industry isn't just about processing, it's a multi-billion-dollar global market, with leather sales surpassing $80 billion annually. According to Consumer Insights, over 60% of leather buyers prefer cowhide for its longevity. However, ethical considerations remain. To promote sustainability, modern factories implement eco-friendly tanning methods, reducing toxic chemical use by up to 90%, while the beef industry continues to adopt humane cattle processing standards. The next time you enjoy a steak or wear leather shoes, think back to the journey that got you there. What do you think about the process? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes insights into the industry.
The U.S. has over 2 million livestock farms, supplying the meat that fuels the sausage industry. These range from small family-run farms to industrial operations, housing over 50,000 cattle or 250,000 chickens at a time. Farms in Texas, Nebraska, and Kansas lead in beef, while Iowa and North Carolina dominate pork. And Georgia and Arkansas control poultry production. To maximize efficiency, large farms use AI-driven monitoring, automated feeding systems, and climate-controlled barns. But not everything is high-tech progress. Antibiotics and growth hormones remain a major concern, with studies linking them to antibiotic resistance and potential human health risks. Meanwhile, overcrowding and restricted movement have sparked ethical debates. How much do we really know about the farms supplying our food? Have you ever wondered how the U.S. produces trillions of sausages each year? Once livestock reach optimal weight, 18 to 24 months for cattle, 6 months for pigs, and just 6 to 8 weeks for chickens, they are transported to processing factories in specialized trailers under strict USDA regulations. These trucks use temperature control and ventilation systems to prevent stress and maintain quality. Before entering the factory, animals undergo USDA and FDA health inspections. In processing hubs like Iowa, North Carolina, and Arkansas, inspectors assess fat content, marbling, and overall meat quality. The initial processing involves stunning, bleeding, and carcass preparation facilities use CO2 stunning for pigs and controlled atmosphere stunning for poultry to support animal welfare practices. Advanced hygiene controls and automation ensure efficiency, but concerns about humane treatment persist. Sausage production follows a highly precise, large-scale process to ensure consistency and safety. The U.S. industry grinds over 10,000 pounds of meat per hour. Mixing it with salt, 1.5 to 2.5%, nitrates, 150 ppm max, nitrites, 120 ppm max, and sugar for flavor and preservation. Premium varieties may include garlic, cheese, or even truffles. Next, the mixture is stuffed into casings, some natural, animal intestines, and others artificial, collagen or cellulose, before being steamed, boiled, or smoked to develop texture and taste. After cooking, the sausages are rapidly cooled to below 40 DEF within 30 minutes to prevent bacterial growth. Vacuum packaging extends freshness, but many consumers worry, how safe are these ingredients? The USDA and FDA enforce strict safety regulations, requiring random batch testing for bacteria like Salmonella and Listeria. Innovations like high-pressure processing, HPP, help reduce chemical preservatives while maintaining shelf life. But safety debates continue. Nitrates and nitrites used to preserve color and prevent spoilage can form carcinogenic compounds when heated at high temperatures. Some factories also use low-quality trimmings, raising questions about transparency and labeling. Meanwhile, concerns over overcrowding, antibiotic overuse, and environmental pollution from meat processing remain unresolved. The U.S. sausage industry is a massive, highly regulated sector, ensuring food safety through USDA and FDA inspections, advanced bacterial testing, and innovations like high-pressure processing, HP. Yet, concerns about nitrate preservatives, meat quality issues, and environmental impact raise questions about long-term health effects and sustainability. With Canada, Mexico, Japan, and China as key markets, the U.S. faces competition from Germany, Spain, and Brazil, driving innovation in organic and plant-based sausages. AI-powered food safety and natural preservatives signal a shift toward healthier, safer products. So next time you grab a hot dog, will you think differently about what's inside? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Your food choices matter.
Gold continues to hold tremendous economic value, serving as a reliable safe haven asset for investors, particularly in times of financial instability and geopolitical crisis. Over the past few years, the global gold market has experienced notable fluctuations, with its price being highly responsive to economic events such as inflation spikes, interest rate changes, and geopolitical tensions. For instance, during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, gold prices soared past $2,070 per ounce, marking an all-time high as investors flocked to the precious metal for security amidst widespread economic uncertainty. In the years following, the gold market remained volatile, with prices fluctuating between $1,700 and $2,000 per ounce, driven by inflationary pressures and central bank policies. For an in-depth look at how gold's market position compared to other assets, watch Trending Farm's latest farming documentary on the gold industry's economic impact. Indexes on the stock exchange, such as the Gold Price Index and the SPDR Gold Shares GLD ETF, have consistently reflected gold's enduring appeal. The demand for gold in financial markets highlights its role not only as a hedge against inflation, but also as a speculative asset. The steady interest in gold futures and derivatives has underscored its sustainable hotness in economic finance. Despite market volatility, gold remains a central asset for investors seeking long-term stability, reinforcing its indispensable role in the global financial ecosystem. Gold mining requires advanced equipment to efficiently extract and process the precious metal from the earth. Open-pit mines use heavy machinery such as excavators, haul trucks, and drill rigs to access gold deposits near the surface, while underground mines rely on equipment like rock drills, loaders, and underground dump trucks to transport ore from deep below. To separate gold from the ore, miners use crushers, ball mills, and conveyors, followed by concentrators and flotation cells. Standards for mining gold are stringent, particularly regarding environmental impact, labor safety, and resource management. Many gold mines must comply with international regulations, such as the International Cyanide Management Code, which ensures the safe use of cyanide in the mining process. Additionally, certifications like ISO 14001 for Environmental Management and Responsible Gold Mining Principles (RGMP) are essential for demonstrating sustainable and ethical mining practices. These certifications not only ensure that gold mining meets global safety and environmental standards, but also enhance the reputation of certified mines in the global market. Raw ore processing is the essential first step in extracting gold from mined materials, as often showcased in a farming documentary focused on industrial practices. Initially, the extracted ore undergoes primary crushing, where large rocks are broken down into smaller pieces using jaw crushers or gyratory crushers. Following this, the secondary crushing phase uses cone crushers or impact crushers to further reduce the size of the ore. Once adequately crushed, the ore is sent to mills, such as ball mills or sag mills, for grinding, where it is ground into a fine powder, allowing the gold to be separated from other minerals, which is often highlighted in farming documentary series exploring modern mining techniques. At this stage, concentration techniques are employed to isolate gold particles. Gravity separation is one of the key methods, using equipment like jigs, spirals, or shaking tables that leverage the difference in specific gravity between gold and other materials. For finer particles, the flotation process is introduced, where chemicals and air bubbles are added to the slurry, causing the gold to attach to the bubbles and float to the surface for collection. These concentration methods, which are often explained in farming documentary episodes, help efficiently extract gold while minimizing waste, setting the stage for further refining processes. Building on the raw ore processing phase, the refining process further purifies gold to achieve an exceptional standard of 99.99% purity. After the initial crushing, grinding, and concentration of ore, the gold concentrate is subjected to smelting, where it is heated to temperatures around 1,200 to 1,500 degrees Celsius in a furnace to remove base metal impurities. The smelted gold, still containing some residual impurities, then undergoes chemical refining to reach its final high purity. In the aqua regia method, gold is dissolved in a mixture of hydrochloric and nitric acids, producing a solution that is then treated to precipitate pure gold crystals. Alternatively, electrolytic refining uses an electrolyte solution and an electric current to deposit pure gold onto a cathode, with the process often conducted at high purity standards in industrial settings. These advanced refining techniques, frequently highlighted in a farming documentary on mining operations, ensure that the gold achieves the desired 99.99% purity, making it suitable for investment and high-precision applications. Once the gold is refined to 99.99% purity, it goes through a casting process to form standard gold bars. The process begins by melting the pure gold in a furnace at around 1,100 degrees Celsius, turning it into a molten liquid. This molten gold is then poured into molds designed to shape the gold into standard bar shapes. According to Trending Farm, through other farming documentaries and real-life experience, a gold bar typically weighs around 400 troy ounces, or about 12.4 kilograms, according to the London Bullion Market Association (LBMA) standard. The molds are made of steel or graphite to withstand high temperatures and ensure precise dimensions. After pouring, the gold bars are allowed to cool slowly in the molds. This cooling process, which can last several hours, is carefully controlled to avoid internal stress and ensure uniform solidification. Once the gold is solidified, the bars are carefully removed from the molds. The solidification process is monitored to ensure that the bars cool evenly and maintain their integrity, achieving a final purity of 99.99%. The result is a high-quality gold bar with a consistent weight and specifications, suitable for investment and industrial applications. Once gold bars have been cast and solidified, they undergo detailed packaging and quality control to ensure adherence to industry standards. Each bar is encased in high-quality, tamper-evident materials such as sealed plastic or vacuum-packed pouches to protect against contamination and damage during transit and storage. In quality control, various tests are conducted to verify the gold bar's purity and specifications. Precision scales measure each bar to ensure it weighs approximately 400 troy ounces. Digital calipers check the dimensions of the bars, which typically measure about 7 inches in length, 3.6 inches in width, and 0.8 inches in thickness. Purity is tested using advanced machinery such as X-ray fluorescence XRF analyzers and traditional fire assay methods. XRF analyzers provide a non-destructive analysis of the gold's composition, while fire assay involves melting a sample and chemically analyzing it for accurate purity results. Each bar is inspected for any visual defects, and specific information including the bar's weight, purity, and a unique serial number is printed on the packaging. For instance, the label might read Gold Bar, 400 troy ounces, 99.99% pure. Serial No. 123456. So tamper-evident seals and holographic labels are also used to enhance security and verify authenticity. This meticulous process ensures that every gold bar meets high standards of quality and is ready for market. We believe that we are not the only ones who want to own at least one of these valuable gold bars. Let us know your interesting comments below this video. And hope everyone does not forget to like and subscribe to the Trending Farm YouTube channel to continue discovering interesting documentaries about agriculture around the world with us.